Most people think that getting rich means being noticed. They believe it's about showing the car, the house, or the lifestyle that screams success. But the truth is, the fastest way to wealth is often the opposite: disappearing financially while you build quietly. The less attention you draw to your money, the more freedom and control you'll actually have. So let's look at how to disappear financially while still getting rich. The first rule is to avoid lifestyle creep. When your income rises, the natural temptation is to spend more. People upgrade their apartment, then upgrade their car, then start eating at more expensive places, until eventually every dollar of their increased income is accounted for. The problem is that this traps you in the same cycle, just with bigger numbers. To disappear financially, you do the opposite. When your income increases, you resist the urge to immediately upgrade everything. You may allow yourself small improvements, but you keep your core lifestyle steady while channeling the difference into savings and investments. To the outside world, you look the same as before, but in reality, your financial base is quietly growing stronger. The second way to disappear is to stop signaling your money. Signals are those visible clues people use to guess how well you're doing. Things like flashy clothes, luxury gadgets, or constant vacations. They make you look rich, but they also make you predictable and exposed. People notice, compare, and sometimes even resent you. Rich people who want to stay rich know how to hide their wealth in plain sight. They buy durable but ordinary-looking things. They avoid conversations about how much money they're making, and they don't flaunt what they have. This lets them blend in while their actual wealth stays protected and compounding. A third principle is controlling what people expect of you. If you create the image that you're wealthy, people will start to expect certain behaviors, like picking up the bill, giving out loans, or living a lifestyle that keeps up with the story you've built. The more you feed that image, the more trapped you become. Disappearing financially means being free from those expectations. You keep things simple. You don't reveal the full extent of your income, you don't talk about bonuses, and you don't broadcast financial wins. This way, you live without pressure from others, and you're free to build wealth at your own pace. Another silent rule is to quietly maximize your cash flow. Wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Disappearing financially means making money flow towards you, not away from you. You might automate your savings, divert part of your income into investments before you even see it, and reduce recurring expenses that silently eat into your money. This isn't visible to anyone else. To the outside world, your life looks normal, but behind the scenes, your accounts are steadily filling, your investments are growing, and your position is getting stronger every month. Investing is another area where disappearing financially pays off. Many people chase flashy investments that they can talk about: hot stocks, crypto, or risky ventures. They do it partly for the story, to sound impressive at dinner parties. But real wealth builders quietly stick to simple long-term strategies. They use index funds, real estate, or businesses that don't look exciting, but keep growing steadily. They don't need the attention that comes with guessing trends. Instead, they're happy to be invisible investors, letting time and compounding do the work. An overlooked part of disappearing financially is privacy. The more people know about your finances, the more exposed you are. People may ask for money, judge your decisions, or even compete with you. That's why rich people often learn to say less. They don't reveal how much they're earning, they don't brag about their investments, and they don't announce their purchases. Privacy protects both your money and your peace of mind. It keeps your wealth safe from unnecessary drama and lets you focus on building it in peace. Debt management is also part of disappearing. Flashy lifestyles often come with debt, which makes people look rich while secretly being broke. If you want to disappear financially, you avoid this trap. You pay down high-interest debt, you use credit carefully, and you don't borrow to impress. This way, you remain financially invisible. You're not tied to banks, not weighed down by obligations, and not constantly stressed by payments. People may think you're just average, but in reality, you're debt-free and moving toward true independence. Another principle is to build assets that don't advertise themselves. For example, owning rental property doesn't change how you look on the outside, but it builds cash flow in the background. Owning dividend-paying stocks doesn't make you look any different, but it creates steady income. These kinds of assets let you accumulate wealth quietly. Nobody sees the ownership papers. Nobody knows how much you're compounding. You just keep building in silence until one day the gap between you and others is enormous. There's also the idea of protecting your time. Many people waste time chasing status signals, scrolling through comparisons, or keeping up appearances. Disappearing financially means cutting that out. You protect your time by focusing on work, skills, and opportunities that increase your earning ability. You spend less time trying to look successful and more time actually becoming successful. While others compete in the show, you're competing in reality. This difference compounds over time. The hours you don't spend chasing attention are hours you use to learn a new skill, improve your craft, or build something that pays you for years. The energy you save by not keeping up appearances becomes fuel you can use to move ahead quietly, while others exhaust themselves in the race of comparisons. One of the biggest benefits of disappearing financially is peace of mind. You're not stressed about impressing others. You're not competing in every conversation. You're not carrying the pressure of keeping up. Instead, you focus on your own path. You quietly invest, you live simply, and you let your wealth grow in the background. You stop needing validation from people who don't pay your bills or care about your future. That peace gives you clarity. And clarity is what allows you to make smarter financial choices without being rushed by pressure or distracted by noise. Over time, this gives you a different kind of confidence. You don't need to prove anything because your security speaks for itself. Even if no one else sees it, you know you're building something real, and that's enough. The respect that comes from independence is far greater than the attention that comes from appearances. The more you disappear financially, the more freedom you gain to make choices based on what matters to you, not what looks good to others. If you start following even a few of these rules, you'll notice your relationship with money shifting. You'll spend less time trying to look successful and more time becoming truly secure. You'll feel less pressure to impress and more clarity about what actually builds long-term wealth. You'll also find that the less people know about your money, the fewer distractions you face. Nobody can question your decisions, push their expectations on you, or hold you to an image you never wanted to maintain in the first place. And while others chase noise, you'll be quietly building the kind of stability that lasts. You'll see your investments stacking up, your savings multiplying, and your debt shrinking, all without anyone noticing. That's when you realize disappearing financially isn't about hiding. It's about protecting your progress. It's about letting your results speak when the time comes instead of constantly trying to explain yourself along the way. That's the power of disappearing financially while getting rich. It doesn't mean living in fear or hiding from opportunity. It means choosing a path where your wealth grows in silence, where your money works behind the scenes, and where you stay free from the traps of appearances. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. By staying disciplined, private, and intentional, you can quietly build the kind of wealth that not only lasts but also gives you true independence. Independence means you're not forced to make choices based on what others expect. You're not pressured to keep up with someone else's lifestyle. You're not tied to debt, and you're not working just to cover appearances. You control your time, your money, and your future. And when the time comes, you'll realize that the richest feeling in the world isn't being admired. It's being free. Free to walk away from work you don't enjoy. Free to live on your own terms without asking for permission. Free to choose peace over pressure and substance over show. That's a kind of wealth no one can take from you because it isn't measured by what you display. It's measured by the quiet strength of knowing you're secure. Over the years, people who focused on looking rich will struggle to maintain the image, but you'll have built something deeper. You won't need to chase approval or prove your success through things that fade. You'll already have the one thing everyone is really chasing: freedom. And that's the true reward of disappearing financially while getting rich.